By now, there's little Nicki Minaj hasn't done. When she first signed with Young Money, her 5-year plan was to have a film career, a perfume line, a clothing line, and maybe records that feature her singing as much as rapping. She not only hit all of these goals, but she surpassed them, climbing to the top of the charts and earning herself the title and reputation as the new queen of hip-hop. Now, almost a decade into her career, she's managed to star on top, but you won't believe some of the hell she went through to get there. So for those of you who are just starting to fall in love with Nicki, or you wanted to know more about her lavish lifestyle, mansions all over the globe, and the unknown details about her rise to fame, well, here we go. Nicki Minaj was born Onika Tanya Mirage on December 8, 1982 in Trinidad and Tobago. Born to parents of mixed origins, her father, Robert Mirage, is of Indo-Trinidadian and Afro-Trinidadian origins. Her mother, Carol Mirage, is of Afro-Trinidadian descent, making Nicki 1/4 Indian. Nicki was raised for a few years by her grandmother while her parents looked for work in America. As a young child in the port of Spain, she was surrounded by a ton of vibrant culture and also was a practicing Christian. Her parents secured employment in the land of opportunity, but money was still tight and they lived in a rough section of Queens, New York and the south side of Jamaica. Nicki, her little brother, and little sister joined her parents in America when she was 5. Her dad was an addict who sold the family's furniture to buy drugs. Her mother, a nurse's aide, struggled to keep a stable home. As his addictions got worse, he became abusive and even tried to set the family home on fire in an attempt to kill Nicki's mother. Her mother actually had a strange premonition that night predicting her husband might do what he did, and thanks to her seemingly psychic ability, that's why her 3 children were staying elsewhere that night. Nicki stated in multiple interviews that her and her mother lived in fear. Her mother and her 3 children were constantly on the move, fleeing from dad, and all of this fighting resulted in her first pursuit of artistic expression. She would lock herself in her room and pretend to be someone else, she told New York Magazine in 2010. She would also regularly pray to God, hoping to be rich so that she could take care of her mother. In the meantime, she had to get an education, so Nicki attended PS 45 Clarence Witherspoon for elementary school. She sang in the choir, played the clarinet, and spending time alone in her room, she wrote her first rap at the age of 12. She idolized Monica and would sing Why I Love You So Much at every talent show she entered. Her ambition to be a performer took her to Fiorella H. LaGuardia High School, whose famous alumni include Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Jennifer Aniston, and the school is part of the inspiration behind the Broadway musical and film Fame. Each student has to choose one major amongst the options of dance, drama, art, vocal music, instrumental music, and technical theater. Nicki failed her singing audition and ended up in the drama program. Even from a young age, Nicki demanded attention. Everywhere we went, I was up singing or acting like, hey, look at me. She developed a few role models, establishing a lifelong obsession with Meryl Streep and, oddly enough, Judge Judy. In other good news, Nicki's father got his shit together and recovered from his alcohol and drug problems with the help of religion. She later stated, "He's still with my mother. He went to rehab and cleaned himself up. Eventually they started going to church a lot and he got saved and started changing his life. He's away from drugs now. He doesn't instill fear in people anymore." While enrolled in LaGuardia, she landed work as an actress in the small off-Broadway play In Case You Forgot back in 2001. Following high school, Nicki entered the working world. Not yet set on making it as an artist, she tried her hand at regular work, bouncing between 13 different jobs in total. One day she would be placing calls as a telemarketer, and the next she would be serving tables at Red Lobster. I worked at Red Lobster, and I chased a customer out of the restaurant once so I could stick my middle finger up at her and demand that she give me my pen back. I swear to God, I was bad. Getting a taste of the 9-to-5 life, she decided that the life of a performer was more a route she wanted to go in. She gave up on acting and decided she would make it as a singer, with her first few gigs as a backup singer for some local New York City rappers. Her mind became set on becoming a rapper, and she refused to let other people write her own stuff. She was determined to make it happen herself. She would upload all of her work to her MySpace page. Nicki began sending her MySpace link to people in the music industry, and Dirty Money CEO Fendi liked what he saw and heard. At the time, her artist name was Nicki Minaj, but Fendi insisted on a change. One of the first production deals I signed, this guy wanted my name to be Minaj, but I fought him tooth and nail, but he convinced me. I've always hated it. She signed a 180-day contract with Dirty Money in 2007. Her first mixtape dropped in June of that year, titled Playtime Is Over. It didn't take long for her to catch the attention of Lil Wayne. She followed this up with Sucka Free in 2008 and Beam Me Up Scotty in 2009, collaborating with Lil Wayne. She signed to Lil Wayne's Young Money label in August 2009, becoming its first ever female artist. In April of 2010, she released her first single, Massive Attack, followed by Your Love. 2 months later, she won Best Hip Hop Female at the annual BET Awards. She dedicated the award to Lil Wayne. Nicki Minaj appeared on Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings in 2011, earning $6.5 million that year alone. Today, she's valued to be worth over $100 million or more. By 2016, Nicki Minaj was about as far away from her childhood in Queens as you could get. In fact, in August of that year, she and her then-boyfriend Meek Mill decided to play house by moving into a gorgeous Beverly Hills mansion, paying around $35,000 a month in rent. This gigantic home was built in 2008 and was constructed on the site of Old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra's former residence. Today, this home features over 10,000 square feet of space, and this honey-colored chateau is prominently perched on top of an embankment overlooking the gorgeous Beverly Hills with some truly astonishing panoramic views, not to mention a freaking 5-car garage. In February of 2017, after having lived here for only about 6 months, Nicki's home was broken into and ransacked. Whatever it is the thieves were looking for, they must have found it, because they reportedly made off with around $200,000 worth of jewelry and other property. While police say that there were clear signs of forced entry at different spots around the house, other sources close to Nicki suggest that the damage done to the home appeared to be personal in nature. Not only were certain items vandalized, but picture frames were destroyed, perfume bottles broken, and some of Nicki's clothes were even cut up. Once her relationship with Meek Mill came to its unceremonious end, Nicki began dating her eventual husband and registered sex offender Kenneth Petty. Petty is best known for his high-profile legal troubles and recently found himself in hot water again due to his failure to re-register as a sex offender once he moved to California to be with Nicki. Located in the Los Angeles neighborhood known as the Flats, which is within walking distance of Nicki's old stomping grounds of Beverly Hills, this $10 million home features 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and a total of around 7,000 square feet of living space. Nicki Minaj is about as far away from her childhood in Queens as you can get. Talk about a come-up. I think it's safe to say she'll be set for life. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and leave a comment on who you'd like for us to feature next.